Alrighty guys, what you have here today is a League of Legends match. Unfortunately, this is not live. Reason being, I recorded an entire live commentary for it, but I forgot to turn down the little volume there that says Sound FX. As you see, I skipped over it, so you couldn't even hear what I was saying about 90% of the time. But this is my beginner's guide from a beginner's perspective. Now, it's not limited to any one character. I am using Wukong though, so most of my stuff is going to deal with him. As you see here, I am buying the very first recommended item. Most of the time, like I said, this is for beginners. Most of the time, you're not going to be doing this once you get later into the game and you're level 30 summoner with all these runes and all these other masteries and everything. But for right now, you are a beginner and you are playing with all computers and you want to buy the very first recommended item. As you'll also notice, the very first item or skill that I choose is actually my E, which is Nimbus Strike. It basically launches you towards a target, any enemy, and once you do that, it will cause damage to them. Now, as you're seeing right now, I'm doing what's called locking my camera by using the space. You don't need to do that. I know it's going to be much easier, and when you do the tutorial for this game, it will most likely have you locked, but I play with it unlocked. Main reason is you can move around, see all the map. You don't have to worry about anyone getting the jump or getting the gank on you. As I'm showing here, this skill is called Exhaust. It's basically what you use on an enemy champion when they're running away, and it slows them way down. So as I'm showing here, you can click all around the map and see any certain point. After about a minute and a half, I believe, all the minions will start to spawn. Always remember to stay behind your minions like I am doing here. You don't need to be up in the fray all the time. What you really want to do is get last hits. Last hits basically will give you a amount of gold in return if you are the one who gets this last hit. Nasus is getting his butt kicked, so he's going to have to drop back some. You will get experience even if you don't get the last hit, but please remember that if you do get the last hit, which you will most likely be able to control if you are playing with bots on your team. I'm playing with bots on my team and bots against my team. This is a created custom game, which I also mentioned you most likely will be doing if you just start. You're not going to jump right into PvP. So as you notice here, I'm taking a ton of damage, so I'm going to try to run away and get behind my next minion wave. If I can do that, it will make them turn around. The turret there actually finished off Malphite, which is quite funny because I didn't really get the credit for that. But it's all good in the end. As you know, I mentioned you always stay behind your minions. As you saw me there, I leveled up. Seeing as how I leveled up, I ended up buying my main combo power attack, which is the crushing blow strike, which basically my combo is I Nimbus Strike up to a champion, and then right after I do that, I end up hitting them with the crushing blow. As you will notice, I will most likely just keep switching my two skills between Nimbus Strike and Crushing Blow. Randomly, I will put one into my decoy, which I also call Shadow Clone. Here I'm just trying to finish off any. I'm able to do it, but I'm about to die. I'm about 1/4 health, so I need to get back and run behind my next minion wave, able to Malphite to turn around. Once he turns around, I could go back and heal right now, but like I said, I've been playing this game for about a week now. I am by no means the best player of this game. I don't even need to hear it. If you are some specialists, that's okay. As you notice here, I went one into E, one into Q, one into E, and now I put one into W, which is my Shadow Clone, which, as I just demonstrated there, it literally leaves a clone of myself, and I turn invisible for about 1.5 seconds, which is an amazing skill for, you know, for all around, because it's one of the best skills used to get away from the enemy. It's one of the best ones to get away from the enemy. So with regard to that, you can actually tell that I am starting to get low on life. I don't want to push it anymore. I have more than enough minions to try to hold Annie off until Nasus gets back up. So he should be able to intercept them, so I'm going to do what's called recalling, which takes me back to town. Now that I am back to town, I will start healing, and I can actually spend some of my gold on the next item. So I click the next recommended item and I will highlight it. If I have enough gold, I will buy it right off the bat. Check the next item. I have enough gold for that, I'll buy that one. Now you notice I don't have the full amount of gold yet to buy this item, but what I will do is go to the consumables and buy a Phoenix Bone, which is about 150 life over time. After I buy that, I go back to the recommended item, highlight in green the next item I will be purchasing, and we are good to go once again. Now I know that Nasus is actually getting pushed back, so I'm going to try to get up here as quick as possible because Nasus is probably going to go right behind that turret, which he does, and then he's going to recall back and himself get all healed up. So now that I have a full minion wave in front of me, I'm going to be able to put a little bit more pressure on. So notice that I always want to stay behind the minions. Wukong is not known as an early game champion. He's much mid to late game because a lot of his attributes are based around him having his high levels and also having his items. So as you notice, I went from E to Q, then E to W, and now I'm going to do from E to Q, which I just did. So from now on, I'm just going to go back and forth between Nimbus Strike and the Crushing Blow, which is my main combo, until I get level 6, of course, where at level 6, I will unlock my ultimate, which is a Whirlwind. It's called Cyclone, I believe, but I like Whirlwind. So once I get that, I will alternate once again between the first skill and the third skill. Nasus really needs to get out of here because he's getting really low on life. I'm going to do a little bit more harassing on Malphite, and I will go for the kill and get it. Notice I did not hurt him. I did not hurt him, but I used Ignite. Ignite cast on a champion will damage them over time. But now look, I am now level 6, which means I can spend my next point, as you can see, into my ultimate, which means I will have my full combo ready, which can basically kill champions almost from full life, especially at this point where now that I'm about 1/3 of the way leveled up, I'm entering the mid. So as you notice, I will do my full combo here. That's Nimbus Strike up, Crushing Blow, and then a Whirlwind, and I should be able to finish her off in more than enough time to get the kill before she can get back to that turret. Now notice, I still have plenty of life. My mana is getting kind of low, but I should have plenty of life. No enemy champions are near right at this second, so with regard to that, now that Malphite's coming back up, I'm going to take my time, purchase my next skill, which just happens to be Nimbus, because like I said, I do rotate back and forth. I have a full minion wave now, so Malphite is going to be forced back behind his minion wave, and until he gets back to that turret or tower. Nasus really needs to run because he's getting low on health, so he just used the heal, and his heal actually affected me as well, which is good. So I'm going to be able to continue to put a little bit more pressure on Malphite once I get my next minion wave back. Nasus seems to be turning around and coming back into the action. I guess he feels he has enough life, which is perfectly fine with me, and he joined back too, which is probably why Nasus returned. I'm actually going to intercept and shadow clone here just to try to get them off of Nasus so Nasus can get back to heal. So by doing that, they both aggroed him instead. As you will see now, I'm not going to be doing too much, but except for minor harassing, I'm not actually going for any kills right now. It's really just to try to firmly sustain and hold back the enemy for as long as possible until Nasus can heal up, item up, and get back into the fray. So I'm going to put a little bit more pressure on Annie. I might be able to finish her off here. I did have to exhaust her, but that's perfectly fine. So join me on the next part, guys. Thanks.
One step.